In this video, I want to talk about how you can trade the boom and crash. I've not done a specific video on this as far as the Royal FOREX Academy is concerned. So in this video, I want to walk you through how exactly you can sell, crash, and buy boom. Without wasting much of your time, we'll be using our chart as usual, and we'll be using our commodity channel index as our entry validation. So how do we do that? Either from a 1 hour or from a 4 hour. Where we are now, this is a 1 hour chart, and what I'll be doing, I want to sell crash. So what do? I will identify my zone of resistance and support. That is solely what I'll be doing. And so if you look at this point, this is a support zone, right? I have a reason why I am marking this support. I am marking this support because once price break out of this support, it will definitely retest it and then continue to the downside. Alright, so I'm not marking it for in terms of a buy. Then here again is our resistance zone. So you can see all of this. Now you can sell it structurally, or you can just catch the drop and then you go out of the market. So these are two scenarios that you can take advantage of. And after doing this as well, remember it is still the same pattern. We are going to mark as well as our smart money cube. Now this is my smart money cube. So look at this carefully. Price has been bullish. This is a higher low, and here is a beautiful higher high. So look at what happened. Price came down all the way from here and break structure here. So here is our BOS, it's our breakout structure, which means we want to do this in a structural way, in a normal trading way. So we have a breakout structure. So after the breakout structure, what do we want to see? We always want to see price pull back into our point of interest, which is our order block. And when price pull into that order block, we have our entry confirmation. What is the entry confirmation? The entry confirmation we got from this zone is the fact that we have a rejection of price from that particular zone. And after that rejection, our commodity channel index crosses the level of 50, and that becomes our entry, and we would have sold all the way to this downside. And the same way, after price was coming down, look at this carefully. So now we have our lower high. Now here, this is our lower high, right? Now we have our lower low. Here now becomes our new lower high. And this particular one now is our new lower low, because this in particular closes below this. And when this was going back, price pulled into the smart money cube. And from that smart money cube, you can see that reaction. So this reaction here gave us a bearish pin bar. So now we have a validation for a sell entry using this bearish pin bar. So we can sell here now with this confirmation, and our stop loss will be somewhere here. However, but when we look at our commodity channel index, our commodity channel index has not given us a confirmation for a sell. And what is the implication of that? It simply means that the commodity channel index is in the middle of nowhere. Neither is it coming from 80, nor has it crossed 50 and it has crossed it and is coming back to the downside. So we would have made this entry if CCI crosses, will go to 50 and it crosses it to the downside. So because we don't have CCI confirmation, we will not be taking that particular trade. Let's look at crash 500. Now you can see how this works. Look at your crash 500 and here is your typical order block. So this is our order block and I want you to see exactly what is happening. Price came in. How do we validate? Remember, we said the valid order block will give us a series of bearish candle. And look at this. We show the strength on the part of the seller and institutional movement. And in the same way, we said they should be able to take liquidity. You can see this liquidity here was taken. And if you look at this upper side, there is also a liquidity here that was taken. So this is a valid resistance zone. So what do we want to see? It is a resistance zone. It also has a fair value gap. Look at what happened now. Price came in all the way, pulled back inside of this zone. And then look at this. It gave us this first rejection, followed by this other rejection. And in a more confirmation, this is a divergence. And I always tell you that 80% of the time, divergence proves to us that we are at the end of a retracement. And you can see that price put to that zone and you can confidently sell. You can see the drops. That is 1 hour time frame for you. And the drops is falling like magic. And confirmation price crosses the level of CCI, crossing the level of 80. So this is how beautiful. There is no stress about doing this. Mark your resistance, mark your support zone. Let's look at boom and see what boom is doing. So right away you can see boom 1000 doing what it knows how to do best. So you can see all of this. In the same vein, boom 1000 has been bearish. Now, how do we make entry? Suddenly, look at it. Boom 1000 has been bearish and it has been moving in the downward path. So let me show you the movement of boom 1000 first. This is a lower high. This is a lower low, right? Here we have another lower high. In all of this, and then here is our lower low. So look at what happened. Price break this point. This is a break of structure, right? Price break that high. Why do we say price break this high? Because there are liquidities here that price took to this downside. So price break that zone and then it has that push to the upside. But immediately that happened, here eventually is our support zone. So price couldn't pull back to this zone. Remember, in the same vein, we have our fair value gap. Here is a typical fair value gap. And look at what happened. Can you see that? This is it. Price went all the way here and then came back, fill into this particular fair value gap that we are having here. You can see it, price fill into it, and immediately price fill into this fair value gap. We have that beautiful reversal which pull price back to the upside. So when price full into it, look at this. We have this first candle, okay, and immediately after that candle, if you look at it critically, you see another rejection. So you bought from here and you see that move to the upside. Again, price came down and went up. So when price went to this side, you identify another of your valid zone. So here is your valid zone. You are marking only resistance, fair value gap. Remember, it is the same point of interest again and again. The same point of interest again and again. Price went up, price came into it. Can you see that? Gives you this first rejection, price where price came. Then after you got this long, you have your buy entry, your stop loss is below. And ever since then, you see price going up. And you can validate this. Look at this. As tiny as you can see, this is a divergence. So this divergence always tell you that this is the end of a pullback. End of the pullback. 80 to 90% of the time, it works like magic. Train your eyes to identify divergence. Okay? Maybe in the subsequent video, I should talk a little more about divergence so that we can refresh our mind. It's been a while I talked about divergence. So I think there is need to talk about divergence so that our mind can refresh. You can see all of this. You can see how this keeps on working and working. Liquidity was taken here. This is a lower high. This is a lower low. And the next thing is price come here and break structure. Right? And then look at what happened. Price tapping back to retest this other block. And after price retest it, price pull to the upside. So you can see all of these things. And when price was going up, price left us here with a fair value gap. And true to it, price return, tap into that fair value gap. And boom. You see that push to the upside. This works. Another fair value gap here. So you can just be catching this thing. Catching this thing. Can you see that price came in? Tap into that. Give us a bullish engulfing candle. You buy here, your stop loss is here. And you see that pull to the upside. So this is how beautiful, this is how easy, this is how simple this can be. So please go back, test it. You always use your CCI to validate your entry, and you will be amazed, okay, to see how this works. You can as well use your trend line. Let me show you something. You can as well use your trend line to do this. Yeah, so this is how you can do it. Thank you for watching this video, and I believe you have learned something new. Please do well to share, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to get notified when I upload our next video. Thank you guys, and see you in the subsequent video where I'll be refreshing our mind about divergence.